Zelensky cuts short South Africa visit after deadly Russian missile strikes on Kyiv. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky abruptly ended his visit to South Africa following a deadly Russian missile attack on Kyiv that killed at least 8 people and injured 77. The attack intensified calls for a ceasefire and highlighted the fragile state of ongoing peace negotiations amid escalating violence. Overnight Russian missile attacks on Kyiv resulted in at least 8 deaths and 77 injuries, marking one of the most severe assaults in recent weeks and prompting international condemnation. In response to the attack, Zelensky shortened his diplomatic visit to South Africa, describing the strikes as one of the most difficult and audacious and emphasizing Ukraine's growing impatience under continuous assault. Zelensky stressed that if Russia truly desires a ceasefire, it must immediately stop its extensive strikes on Ukrainian cities, warning that Ukrainians are losing patience amid ongoing violence. Donald Trump publicly criticized the timing and necessity of the missile strikes, urging Russian President Vladimir Putin to stop and calling for the swift completion of a peace deal. Trump declined to specify whether the U.S. would impose further sanctions on Russia but warned that things will happen if the attacks continue, signaling potential escalation. Trump accused Zelensky of jeopardizing peace talks by refusing to recognize Russian control over Crimea, annexed by Russia in 2014. Zelensky countered that Ukraine's willingness to negotiate is already a huge compromise. Vice President Vance suggested that any agreement might accept the current territorial realities, though Trump acknowledged that recognizing Crimea as Russian would be politically and legally problematic. Zelensky highlighted a recent difficult but constructive meeting in London involving Ukrainian, US, UK, and European officials, reinforcing a shared commitment to pursue peace despite setbacks. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa expressed concern over the conflict and reaffirmed his country's neutral stance, emphasizing dialogue with all parties and ongoing efforts to facilitate peace, though South Africa has not extended symbolic support such as a G20 invitation to Ukraine. This episode underscores the volatile nature of the Ukraine conflict and the complex interplay of international diplomacy, with Zelensky seeking broader global support while facing relentless military pressure from Russia.